Okay everybody, I'm back. I'm mostly over my cold and my wife is somewhere else tonight, so I get to make a video. So I thought I'd do a recap from my point of view about search engine strategies and sort of cover some of the high order bits and stuff that I thought was pretty neat. A lot of people are curious about industry news. What did the search engines announce or what happened during the week? So Yahoo announced Site Builder, which is something that lets you do a free custom search engine for your own site. Google has something that's sort of like that, but we rolled it out several years ago. So Yahoo, for now, looks like they have a slightly nicer custom site search that's free. They also rolled out authentication in Site Explorer. So one thing you'll notice is you can now prove that you own a site in Yahoo Site Explorer, and presumably you'll be able to do some more stuff down the road with that as well. They also turned off the ability to just do site colon and a domain on Yahoo. So a lot of people missed that during the conference. It's now a forced redirect to Yahoo's siteexplorer.search.yahoo.com. So you have to log in if you want to do a site colon search on Yahoo now. You might be able to do a -a or -the or something to get around that, but it's pretty clear they want to shunt most of the people doing SEO sort of research to that one site and leave the main site for regular searches. So what did Google announce? Well, we rebranded and renamed Sitemaps to Google Webmaster Tools, and there's a new Google Webmaster blog. The Sitemaps blog has been renamed. So a lot of stuff has been reorganized, so it's all in one spot. You've got one place you can go to. There was also a refresh of the supplemental results, which is kind of nice. People who were complaining about results being from like 2005, I believe by the end of the month we'll have those new, fresher supplemental results out everywhere. But the supplemental results are basically mostly in the April, May, June, July timeframe. The earliest document I know of is in February, so I know a lot of people are happy to see a refresh of the supplemental results. We also released a click fraud report. Kind of interesting. The auditing paid clicks session was kind of a barn burner. You sort of had to be there. It was a lot of fun. If you don't want to read the 17-page report, I would just read the appendix, where they sort of talk about mathematically impossible things and give some concrete examples. But it is a pretty interesting report if you want to read it. Microsoft didn't really announce much, and I actually support that. I don't think search engines should try to roll stuff out on a conference schedule, because then all the events get squashed into one and you sort of get lost in the noise. So I think it's not a bad idea to roll stuff out when it's ready and not worry so much about launching during a conference trying to get a big boost because of the press. So all other search engines, including Google, don't launch anything during conferences. Make life more mellow for everybody. Probably the biggest industry news that happened was inadvertent, and that was because AOL accidentally, semi-accidentally leaked queries for hundreds of thousands of users and millions of queries and stuff like that. It was done in good faith. The researchers wanted to provide data to help people learn more about how people search with search engines, but it took about a day before people realized, no, that could be tied to individual searchers and stuff like that. So people have probably heard the fallout from that over the last couple weeks, so I don't need to talk more about that. It was an interesting conference because I got to meet a few people for the first time. I got to meet Lauren Baker, Jason Dowdle, Sean Hogan, Jim Hedger, Steve Bryant from eWeek. I enjoyed meeting everybody there. I enjoyed talking to a lot of people, from the lady from NetShops to the guy that I shared lunch with. It was a lot of fun as far as talking to webmasters. People that were there that I didn't get to talk to, that I really would have liked to talk to, Lisa Barone, or Lisa Baroni, I don't know how to say it, from Bruce Clay. It sounds like Melanie Colburn was there from John Patel's blog. Andy Beal, didn't get to talk to him this time, hopefully next time. And Donna Bogatin was there and sent a couple reports in, but I never got a chance to talk to her. Other things that happened, it was actually a conference in which there was a lot of changes that happened. It sounds like Andy Beal is moving to a different spot. Mike Grehan is moving to a different spot. This is one of my favorites. Nobody else, I think, noticed this, but Jeffrey McManus, who is a Yahoo search developer or something like that, or an API guy, he left Yahoo. If you're not familiar with the name, He's the guy that said Google Maps APIs smelled like wet, burnt dog food or something like that. So he's no longer at Yahoo. I think he's consulting now. So if you want to get good consulting, I'm sure you could talk to Jeffrey McManus. Canoodle, something happened with them. They switched to CVAST or something like that. And at first I just thought it was like a name change, but evidently they have something to do with Moniker or Moniker's landing page stuff. So I haven't gotten to talk to Monty or Eric over at Moniker and find out more about what Canoodle's up to, but that sounded interesting. Probably the biggest change that I thought was entertaining was Niall Kennedy left Microsoft, which was kind of a funny moment because it started out that we were going to have a search engine blogger roundtable, and I think Robert Scoble was scheduled to be on the panel, and then he left Microsoft. And so Niall Kennedy was scheduled to take his spot, and then he announced he was going to leave Microsoft, and he was leaving like 3 days after this panel. So there was at least one point where I was looking at Niall and somebody from Microsoft talking, and I couldn't hear what they were saying, but I was imagining the Microsoft PR guy going, "You're going to be cool, right?" And Niall's like, yeah, I'm going to be cool. And it was. He was superb. He did a great job. He told a really funny story about international soccer and how you can avoid incidents by thinking about the impact of your words. So it was a lot of fun being on a panel with him, along with Gary Price and Jeremy Zawodny. Other fun moments. I can't believe this, I missed Danny Sullivan and Lederhosen. So he lost a bet with, I think, Thomas Bindel, and there's pictures all over the web. So just do a Google search or some other image search and you should be able to find Danny Sullivan and Lederhosen. I got to talk to a lot of metrics companies and grill them about various things, so I've still got a few posts to talk about metrics. Picking brains of webmasters, and of course they picked my brain a little bit. It's always good to talk to webmasters. I enjoyed that a lot. It was fun to meet some cutlets. So Jessica and Audrey from an SEO down in LA, it was really nice to meet you. Lindsay, it was nice to meet you as well. Didn't make my wife jealous at all. No sir. No marital problems there, I'll tell you. But it was a lot of fun meeting a ton of people, including a couple cutlets. I got a killer cold, which I am now over, so that's pretty good. And there was one heart-stopping moment where Danny was talking to Eric Schmidt, the CEO of Google. He did a Q&A on the third day of the conference. And Sergey showed up at Search Engine Strategies like back in '99 or 2000 or something, and he said something like, "There is no such thing as search engine spam," which back then was basically true because Google was using PageRank and links and anchor text in ways that nobody had ever thought of before, and it was very hard to spam Google, and nobody really worked on it because Google was really small. But that quote haunted Google or at least web spam for a while. "There's no such thing as spam," says Sergey. So there was one moment when Danny Sullivan asked Eric Schmidt, he said, "Oh, all this link stuff, people are always going to be trying to abuse it. Do you want to just, go ahead and say now that everything's okay? There's no such thing as spam, you can do whatever you want." And he didn't say it exactly like that, but I still had this heart-stopping moment where for a second I was like, "Eric, say the right thing, mind meld, yes!" And he did a fantastic job. So, heart attack avoided, everything's copacetic. It was actually really neat to have Eric there and talk about the importance of webmasters and communication and stuff like that. So it was a lot of fun, it was a good conference. I am going to be out of conferences until maybe Webmaster World Vegas in November. So I'm looking forward to some quiet time at home, just working on spam, stuff like that. But it was a lot of fun, and if I got to meet you at the conference, I'm really glad I did. And if not, I hope I meet you at a future conference.